Hello students, welcome to a lesson through the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher, and in this lockdown period, since we are not able to go to school, children, we will be doing many lessons here online through the virtual class. So come on, let's proceed to our lesson for today.
So children, the lesson that we are going to do today is a lesson in standard 4th. Okay, and the subject is of course English, because I always do lessons which are based on English. Okay, and this beautiful video will be about lesson number 4 in your textbook, that is your own book of science. Now children, when we go to school, okay, and especially in the beginning of the year, we get so many new notebooks, we get so many new textbooks, isn't it? You get your English textbook, you get your mathematics textbook, your EVS textbook. All right, we love to open the book and look at the new pictures. Some of us also love to write our names on the book. But children, these books are all books which you need to carry to school. Your teacher, when you go to school, your teacher will ask you, so where is your English textbook? So where is your maths notebook? Isn't it? But there are some books, children, which we like to keep as a part of our hobby. Now, if you look at this particular page, what can you see? You can see so many things related to science, isn't it? So some of us, we are interested in languages. So we like to learn English, we like to learn Marathi, Hindi, etc. So what we do is we try to keep books where we write words, we write the meanings of words. Some of us like animals, some of us like to collect stamps. So each of us have our own hobby. Now, you could also have a liking for science, isn't it? Now some of us get very attracted to certain things, like how this happens. Okay, how come when you add one thing to the other, a third thing comes out? So some of us are very interested in things which happen in science. We learn in EVS also about science. So if we are so interested in science, then as a hobby, you can keep your own book of science. Alright, so now what is the meaning of your own book of science, that we will see today. And if some of you are interested in having your own book of science, you can see this lesson or you can see this video and you can get an idea about how you can make your own book of science. So children, what is a science? Science means studying about nature, studying about the various things in nature, studying about chemicals, okay, about gases, all these things, about magnets, all these things are related to science, isn't it? And of course, one very important point in science is experiments. So see, what has he done? He added 2 liquids into a big glass jar. And when these 2 liquids mixed up, see the reaction? So you must have seen this kind of a reaction when you open a bottle of Coke or Thumbs Up, which you have nicely shaken up. So if you buy a bottle of Pepsi or Thumbs Up, you drink half of the Pepsi, half of the Thumbs Up, and thoroughly and vigorously shake the bottle. And when you open it, you will see this kind of foam coming out. Okay, but that is the Pepsi, that is that foam. So how can you create this kind of foam at home? So see, you can do experiments based on it. So there are so many experiments which you can try to do at home. Some of them you can do on your own, but for some of them you will need the help and advice and guidance of your teachers or your parents. Okay, so what are we going to think about today? We are going to think about what experiments can we write down in our own book of science, and how we will write down the experiment, that also we will see today. Okay, so children, you must have visited a library, isn't it? All of us have visited a library. You might be having a library in your school. You must have also gone to a library with your parents, sometimes with your mother, sometimes with your father, with your didi. You must have gone to a library. Or sometimes when you go to somebody's house, you go to your uncle's house or your neighbor's house or your relative's house, you will see in their house also they have a big cupboard, sometimes full of books. Isn't it like this? Now, these books could be on various subjects. You could have story books, you could have books based on drawing, painting, languages. Okay? Some of these books, children, could also be based on science. So when we say science, we mean about volcanoes, about energy, about environment, about the human body, and so many other topics. All right. You will also see books based on science, which are based on machines, which are based on growth, on matter, on the cell, etc. So these are all books which you can get ready-made from the library and you can read them if you're interested. But now I think in the 4th standard level you should go for easier books. Okay, books where language is easy, books which will be simple for you to understand. Now these are all books which you get in the library. Okay, you can go to any library and pick up books and read them. Now what about if you want to have a book of your own? So you are very interested in science and now you want to have your own science book. So how will that be possible, children? Let us see. So you can maintain a book. Okay, you can buy a big register or a notebook and you can enter things in it which will take you into the wonderful world of science. Okay, so after you buy a book, this book will be empty. You will have to keep on filling it with whatever things that you learn and you like about science. And that way you will have your own science book. Okay, and what will you put down in your own science book? Like I told you, there are so many experiments that you can do at home with the help of your parents. You can do in school with the help of your teacher, and you can write down these experiments or make a note of these experiments in your own science book. Okay, so now if you look at your textbook, they've given you one experiment, that is an experiment with salt and ice. So let us see how we can do it, and let us also see how we can record it in your own science book. Okay, so you will see so many books on science experiments. You will be able to see so many different kind of books on science experiment. And in that you will also see children doing experiments based on magnetism, on electricity, living things, growth, etc. But these are all experiments which are done by other children. They are not experiments which you are doing, isn't it? So when will you have fun? When you watch something on TV, you have fun, or when you play it yourself, you have fun? Of course, when we do something ourselves, that is the time we have a lot of fun with that activity, isn't it? See, some science experiment books can also be like this. So you can get idea about experiments from these kind of books also. Okay, we of course have an experiment in the textbook which we are going to do now, but you can get other ideas for experiments from such books. So in case you're interested in making your own science book, you can take ideas from these kind of books. Okay, so and then you can do such wonderful experiments. Can you see this experiment here? Someone has done an experiment and it looks like people are dancing, or there are some kind of animals. See, it looks wonderful, isn't it? See, you can also do experiments like this. The floating candle experiment. A candle is burning and you cover it with a glass, and ultimately the wick extinguishes and the water starts getting in and the candle starts floating. Okay, so there are various experiments, children, which you can try and do on your own. So now after doing the experiment, let us see how we will write it down in our own science book. Okay, and then when you write down such experiments in your own science book, your science book might look like this. See, it is a very simple thing, isn't it? They have put together an old piece of cardboard and some pages. Now these pages need not be from your new book. You have books which are having pages from last year, empty pages, isn't it? So you can always pull them out and you can tie them up together and put them inside a cardboard, and then you can make your own science book. Okay, so come on. Now I told you how you can make your book. I told you what all things you can put in your book also, where you can go to find these experiments. Now let us actually go and do an experiment for our science book. So this experiment, children, will be a very simple one where we will try to lift ice. Now you will tell me, teacher, so what? It is so simple to lift ice. Why do we need to do an experiment? We can simply lift ice like this, isn't it? Using a scooper. So this is a scooper. If you have a tray full of ice, I can simply take a scooper and I can lift up ice with the scooper. So what is the need for an experiment here? You may also tell me that I can also use a simple ladle or a spoon in order to lift ice and transfer it to another bowl. Alright, but remember children, in all these cases, you are one way or the other touching the ice. You can also pick up the ice with your hands and put it somewhere else. Okay, but now here we are going to try to lift the ice without scooping it up. Okay, so you are not going to use a spoon, you are not going to use a ladle, but you are just going to pick up the ice without using a spoon or the ladle, or even without touching the ice cube. So what will we do now? We will be doing an experiment where we will lift ice, but we will not touch the ice. Neither are we going to make use of any type of spoon or ladle or scoop. So how is it going to happen? It is going to happen like this. We are going to lift up a piece of ice using a piece of thread. So we will lift up a cube of ice using a piece of thread. So you will tell me, teacher, so are we going to stick the thread to the ice cube? No, we are not going to use any kind of gum or glue or anything else. So then how are we going to do it? So what are we going to need? So this is how you will start recording your experiment in your own science book. So you will write what I need to pick up ice without using your hand or without using your spoon or your scooper. So in this case, you're going to need some basic things. Of course, you will need the ice cube, isn't it? You will also need a piece of thread. And the most important thing here, you are going to need some common salt. So what is common salt? Common salt is a salt that we use in our food every day. We sprinkle it on salads, we add it to dal, etc. So we are going to make use of this common salt in order to lift up this ice cube. Okay? So come on, let's start and let us see what are the steps that we are going to do in order to lift up this piece of ice using the salt and using the thread. So remember children, whenever you do any kind of experiment in science, there are certain things that we are going to need. Okay, so these are all the things that you will need. Apart from this children, when you're doing experiments in science, there are certain steps also that you need to follow. Okay, so a particular step will be done and after that you will do the next step and then you will do the next step. So there are certain steps that you need to follow if you have to do an experiment in science successfully. So let us now try and see what steps we can use in order to lift the ice cube using thread and common salt. Alright, so let us look at step number 1. So what will you call it? You will call it what you do. What you do means what are you supposed to do in order to pick up the piece of ice without your fingers or without a spoon. So the first thing that you will need is a plate, or you can call it as a, you can use a bowl, or you can use a tumbler, or anything in which you can place this piece of ice. Alright, so the second step will be, we will place the ice cube in a dish. Alright, so first you will need a dish, then you will take an ice cube and you will place the ice cube onto the dish or onto the plate or onto the vati that you have taken. After that, the next step you will do is, after you place the ice cube in the dish, the next step that we will do is, we will place a piece of thread on it. So see, we placed a piece of a thread on the ice cube. Alright, so this is our piece of thread. You can look at the textbook also, children. If you have your textbook, you can also open your textbook and come to page number 7, where you will be able to see these images. Alright, after you place the thread on the piece of ice or on the cube of ice, you have to take some common salt. So what is common salt? I already told you. You use it in your soups, you use it to sprinkle on your salads, etc. So you will take some common salt and you will place it, or you will sprinkle the common salt on the thread as well as near the thread on the ice cube. So you can see here, there is this thread on the ice cube and there is lots of salt also which has been added on the thread and also near the thread. Why do we do it? We do it so that the thread sticks to the ice cube. So remember, we are not going to use any kind of glue or Fevicol. Okay, so we are just using common salt and we are allowing the thread to stick to the ice cube. So this is going to take some time. So you will have to wait for a few seconds. After you sprinkle the salt, you will have to have some patience and wait for some time. Allow the ice and the thread to stick to each other because of the salt. After waiting for a few seconds, children, you can try to hold the two ends of the thread and you can try to pick them up carefully. So see, this child had kept the ice cube inside a glass, and when he is trying to pick up the thread carefully, what has he seen? He's seeing that the ice cube has really stuck to the thread, and as you lift the thread up, the ice cube is coming up along with the thread, or it is sticking to the thread and rising along with the thread. Okay, see here. So when you try to pick it up, here you can see a dish. So when you try to pick up the thread, the ice cube sticks to it and it comes along. Why does it happen? Why does the ice cube stick to the thread? It sticks because of the use of salt in it. Okay, then see, you can also stick one end of the thread to the ice cube. Not necessary that you should stick the thread in the middle. You can stick one end also. You can try different ways to lift the ice cube now using the thread and salt, once you come to know how it is done. See here, what is done here. This child is so very, you can say, smart, or has tried to do something very interesting. So he's tried to make a chain of ice cubes in the same manner. So what will you do here? You will place ice cubes at a little distance from each other and you will spread the thread along all the cubes and put salt on all the cubes. Simple, isn't it? And what will you see here? A chain of ice cubes. As you lift up the thread from one side, you will be able to see a chain of ice cubes. So try doing this also, children. You can try to do this also. See, she's bunched up the ice cubes. Okay, she's tried to stick one cube to another. So can you try this? Yes, you can try this also, simple experiment where you make the ice cubes stick to each other as well as you make them stick to the thread also. So all these different and interesting ways of doing this experiment you can try. Okay, and you can successfully lift the ice cube using a thread and salt. So once again, what did we do? We kept an ice cube in a dish or a tumbler. We kept a thread across it like shown here in this picture, and we sprinkled salt on it. So using a simple ingredient in your kitchen, that is a salt, you lifted up the ice cube using the thread. So wasn't this a wonderful experiment? So when you note it down in your My Own Science book, what will you do? You will note down all the steps like it is given in your textbook and like we discussed just now. Okay, so what did we do? We discussed what all things we are going to need for it. So you will have to mention all these things, children, when you're writing it in your My Own Science book. Okay, you will have to write what all things you're going to need for it. Alright, then you will have to write what all steps you're going to take. Okay, so this will be the first thing that you will write. You will first mention the name of your experiment. So what is the name of your experiment? You're going to lift ice without touching it. Okay, then you will say what all things you're going to need for it, what all things you're going to use in order to lift your piece of ice without touching it, and then you will mention all the steps. What all steps have you taken and what all have you done in order to lift up the cube of ice without using your fingers or without using the scoop. Finally, you will write the conclusion. So you were able to pick up the piece of ice using thread and salt, because they've asked you in the end what happens. So whenever you do an experiment, children, in the end something happens as a result of the experiment. So that is called as the conclusion. What happens? You study throughout the year, isn't it? What is the conclusion? That you pass with very good marks, isn't it? So you will write the conclusion also. You will write what happens in the end also for this particular experiment. Not only this experiment, for all experiments. Now children, just like you had this experiment using salt and using ice, there are so many other experiments also that you can do. For example, you can do a very simple experiment using baking soda and vinegar. And if you add a bottle, if you take a bottle of vinegar, you add some baking soda to it and you put a balloon on it, you will see that the balloon gets inflated on its own because some kind of gas is formed. Okay, so this is a very good experiment which you can try to do at home. And you can also search for many more such simple experiments that you can do at your home with help from your parents if needed. Alright, see, this is also an experiment which you can do at home. You can mix baking soda, vinegar and a little glitter. Now what is glitter? You use glitter in case you want to make craft items, or you want to give someone a gift card or something. That time you make use of glitter, isn't it? So if you mix baking soda and vinegar and some glitter, you will get this kind of a volcano. Have you seen a volcano? A volcano is something which spills over. Okay, so you get this kind of a volcano. Isn't it interesting? So you can also show it as a magic show for your friends. When you have a birthday party at home and you call your friends, you can tell them, see, come on, I will show you some magic. So you can just take baking soda, which is a white powder, and vinegar, which is water. So you're just mixing white powder and water and creating a fountain. So it is not only a science experiment, it can also be done as magic. All right. But remember children, when you're doing all these things, there are certain precautions that you should take. So you should never use scissors without the supervision of your parents. So in case you're going to use certain sharp objects like scissors or knives, then you have to see to it that either your parent or your teacher is around. Otherwise you will injure yourself. In the same way, you should not make use of certain harmful chemicals also which might harm you, okay, which will cause trouble to your eyes or which will damage your skin. So when you are doing experiments on your own, try to make use of safe things. So what did we do in this particular experiment? We made use of ice, and we made use of salt, and we made use of thread, which was very, very harmless, isn't it? So you should never try to make use of harmful chemicals also when you're doing these kind of experiments. And also try not to play with fire. That is, try not to light a matchstick or a candle if your parents are not around. So these are some precautions that you should take when you do such experiments on your own. Okay, if you have your parents with you, or if you have your teacher with you, of course they will light the matchbox for you, they will cut things for you. But when you're alone, please see to it that in the josh of making your own science book, you do not injure yourself. And after conducting all these experiments, the most important thing is that you will record your experiments in your own book of science. Okay? You will write using a pencil or a pen very neatly, and you will draw pictures wherever it is necessary. You will stick photos wherever it is necessary, and you will make a very beautiful book of science, which will be your own book of science. It will not be something which you can just buy or borrow from a library. Alright children, so this was part 1 of our lesson, your own book of science, in which first what did we do? We talked about books in science. We talked about various books which can come in science and which you can go to the library and which you can read. But then we also said that if you want to make your own science book, then you will have to learn to do some experiments. So our textbook has taught us how to do one particular experiment. And I also told you how you can refer to books and how you can try and do many different experiments here in order to make a record in your science book. But at the same time, I also cautioned you that there are certain things like, for example, the scissors or candle or certain harmful chemicals which you are not supposed to use unless and until there is your teacher or there is your mummy or your papa in order to supervise you. Alright children, so that was about your own science book.
So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learnt a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.